Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you a way to change a person's clothes in the way that I find simplest, fastest. There are many ways with ComfyUI. I've tested them all more or less. I find this one, for those just starting out, is very simple. So here we have the models. I've made the list because previously I was criticized for not putting the models in the description. So they're here. The Flux Film model. I've taken the FP8 model, which is lighter, but you can take the complete version, it's not a problem. All the rest are clips, etc. Things you find on Flux. You'll need Redux. So it's here, the link is here. All the links are there. The clip vision. You also have the two loris. So I use the anti-blur rather than the detailer. But that's a matter of taste. I tested all this before. So the most coherent one remains this one, the first one. Here you also have the Florence models. I tested the models. We're going to test with this one. I haven't tried the large FT yet. So what I also wanted to tell you is that in fact, the duration, so here we are on 12 steps. The rendering time will mainly come from the size of your reference image, or rather your reference images, because in fact, it performs a calculation to get a better output resolution. So the principle is simple, two images, the image of the person and the image of the clothes. So I'm going to do it live because anyway, that's cleaner here. Of course, Florence needs to know what we're asking it to do in the math. So here I've put clothes, you can put dresses here. It's not really a dress, but anyway. So you see I've already done the test. But here we're going to do it live. We're going to change the image. So what you need to do first is make a mask. Normally on older versions of ComfyUI, right-click, and you have the context menu. On the side you'll have a context menu with mask. Here I don't have it. There are many places where I can show you how to do it. Open Mask Editor. On my new load image, I don't have it anymore. It's here. It's the pen. It's not a big deal. So here the most important thing will be to make a clean map. The cleaner your mask is, the better it will be. Here we're going to put it in white so we see it better. In this case, for the video, I'm not going to bother making something perfect. I'm showing you the principle. So here I've done the outline. Here, since there are straps on the lady's dress, we can go wide. But here I'm not going to take the dress. I'm going to do something else. We do the outline like this. So the finest will be actually, you should take a small brush, reduce it, and do the inside of the hands. We're not going to bother, we're going to zoom in to paint the inside, the brush, to save time. I think my brush is not on maximum hardness. It is, however, hardness, capacity, hardness. Okay. What a new Bible. So I made the mask. I save here. So the mask is here. Here I'm going to change. I'm going to take. What am I going to take? We're going to test this for example. You see that here there is no person. They are only clothes. So there's a chance that unfortunately it will integrate the bracelet anywhere, but we are going to test. So, clothes. So it's true that I changed large, so it has to load the model. I don't think that will take too long. And then, it will make the mask. We should get exactly the same thing since it was done before. I could have kept it, but I wanted to show you how to make the mask, even if it's not really complicated, but the goal is to show you the simplest way so that you don't have problems. Here I haven't changed everything. The main things to know are the models, and this, that I tested for you. After that, nothing prevents you from testing yourself. I should have planned for this, anticipated that it would take a little time to load this. So what you also need to know is that if you load the two images without making a mask, and you launch it, you will get an error, which is normal, because I think that also happened to me on other workflows. I didn't understand why each time there was an error. There was an error, and in fact, it was simply because you had to create a mask in the image. So it's a bit long. I accelerated all this in the video so that we don't spend 5 minutes in front of this. I should have left the base, but it's not a big deal. Don't worry, all this will be advanced and accelerated. So we're going to wait for it to finish loading. and I'll find you right after this. Here we are back. So that's it. It did the same thing as before. It retrieved the person's clothes. So you should know that if you put person or character, it will take the complete character, which will be completely masked, and it will remake this image, in fact. It will put the image back, and there will be nothing at all. After that, you have to do tests. I tried accessories, I tried dresses works. Well, here, since there are several clothes, it's an ensemble, so I put clothes. So, that's the image calculation. We're going to see the first result of this. After that, I'm going to show you where I find this kind of image, which is quite interesting. The good thing is that with this workflow, the clothing change happens even if the person is in profile. From the back, it will really do something good. It's taking a little longer than expected. The image is quite large. What's important is to have a clean result, especially being able to change clothes without having to use a workflow with nodes everywhere. Maybe I didn't do the mask enough around the neck there. I'm afraid maybe the scarf, well, it didn't bother. You see, the problem is, it messed things up a bit at that level. Why? Is it due to the fact that here it put the bracelet? Or rather only the bracelet around the neck? So here again she has bare arms. So it automatically retrieves this, but with bare arms. Well, the shorts are more than correct. The belt too, you see. We're going to try sending this again. I'll show you. So here I typed this, date on Pinterest. Here I landed on Pinterest. And there, it's Alibaba's cave in terms of clothing. You really have enough to make complete outfits. So if you click on, for example, this one, we'll have others. It has others here. You see? We're going to take this one. Others that relate to it, more or less. That gives you a lot of clothes. Of course, you can type. Let's say pajamas, for example, pajamas. There you will have pajamas. With sometimes the person, sometimes just the clothes. You can take this one, for example. In fact, we're going to save it. And we're going to put it in here. Well, that's already a little better, but it still has this problem. Let's load here. I'm used to right-clicking. I was also so used to the context menu on the right for making masks that each time I tend to right-click. We're going to try putting sleeves like on the real clothes that we want to change. That will be more logical. But I don't want that. So I changed here. We're going to see. Afterwards, I'll do a test with this anyway. I hope it's not too loaded because basically the model is configured to use this. So is it not a bug maybe, with the SAM model? I don't know. You still see that that the shorts are quite great. As for the outfit, it's the same. The scarf is also great, if the bracelet weren't getting mixed up in it. This is not a bug, it's the same here. I don't know if it's a bracelet offset, I don't know at all. It's not a big deal. So we're going to do the test with our famous pajamas. The one I just downloaded. So I'm preparing it. In fact, I'm going to get it right away. So where are the pajamas? I loaded it. I downloaded it here. Where is it? It's here. I hope it doesn't put a coffee cup in the middle of the face. The image is arriving. We can have perfect results. After that, it's always the same. It's like everything. You have to do tests. You have to find the right parameters. You see that it didn't do anything. It always kept the same thing. I've already managed to do it completely without this, you know. So I think it's just a setting problem here. It's not a big deal. We're going to put the pajamas on her. Well, we're going to try putting the pajamas on her. So here I put it back as it was originally. These are clothes, not pajamas. Here I just put the base back and I'm relaunching. The mask is already created, so it won't redo it. Here it might extrapolate the skin because I created a mask of all this. So normally they should extrapolate. It should do the straps, the pajamas, if all goes well. I'm waiting for that to finish, and I'm changing the character image. We're going to try putting a character with a more profile view to show you. I'm trying to make a video to get a result that comes out like that. It's a bit silly, but I can guarantee you it's really great. But we're going to get results that are going to be really great. You'll see. Here it was really bizarre with the bracelet. It did its own little thing by itself. It's taking a little longer. What's that due to? Maybe the reference image. Note that these are still quite consistent images. So, already, image crop, topless. Here it retrieves the base image. So, okay, we can put that in place. I can explain to you how to put it in place, maybe to gain calculation speed. So here we should have something that is still a bit more coherent. There aren't any jewels lying around anywhere. So it should be pretty good. Still the same, the character is not whole. I'm waiting to see what f16 here gives. I haven't tried changing, but I'm not going to do it during the video because it might crash. So, they decode. Here it's the same. If you really have memory problems, you should put a they tiled with tiles. You know what that is. It's that one when you have problems. Well then, yes, it's funny. It's funny because it really put the pajamas on her. It did a good render. It even put the necklace on her. But it's lifted here because her hand is lifted there. Yeah, but you still see that the results are really beautiful. In fact, you just need to put a little more material here. But anyway. So if we took a character who is not facing forward, let's be crazy. Emilia Clarke. Still the same, I always make mistakes. I press context. No, it's here. So we're going to do this. Honestly, I want it white. Oh, the hand, I made it big. It's okay. The hand will be redrawn. That really doesn't pose a problem. We're not going to bother here. We're going to do, she's completely in profile. Yes, we're going to test with that. It's missing a little bit here, but anyway. So what it's going to do is remake a mask. This time you'll see it here. There's the mask. So we're going to see how it behaves to handle the profile here. Here it's true that it's funny but it really kept the exact same shape here. It's rather funny. In the meantime, I'm going to see if we shouldn't take another pair of pajamas. A bit nicer maybe, without being too sexy either. They have this habit of always pulling up the belly button or what? Isn't there a place where it doesn't touch the belly button? Well, this one doesn't touch the belly button. Okay, we're going to take this one for example. So since we're here, I'm going to try to see something. But then if I resize, these are not images that really have dimension. It's a bit of everything and nothing. I don't know if we wouldn't struggle more trying to make images. Okay. Well, there you see that it kept the profile, that it retrieved the pajamas. Still the same, it lifts a little so automatically there's a belly, but you don't see the same thing. We even retrieved the coffee cup in her hand. But it's quite coherent. The strap here is not bad. Here it's simply because I didn't make the mask correctly. There's a little bit missing here so we see it. But you see when it takes the shape, it's really clean. So Emilia Clarke, we're going to tell her to stay there because she looks good here. And we're going to try putting these pajamas on her. It's possible it even puts the piercing on her. We'll see, I don't know. So I don't have a character from the back to show you how it works. But I tested it. It works too. Anyway, anything portrait is perfect. What kind of character do I have there? Do I have portraits? No. Do I have characters in profile? No, I don't have profile. It might be funny here. If I focus on that, it might be very funny. We can try. Pajamas in the street. We'll see first. We'll finish Emilia Clarke first. Yes, it's the same. The image, it's very large. So that, eventually I'll update the workflow. I'll resize the base images so that the calculation of the two images. So after creating the mask, yes, so that the quality here remains preserved. I'm absolutely not touching this. I've already done tests, but I don't want to get into that now, because it will complicate things for you. I'm just showing you how to use it in the simplest way. However, I might update the workflow as I told you, to reduce the two starting images, and the last one will have an upscaler to see if we really gain in processing speed. Well, I think yes, we will gain in processing speed. That's for sure. Because here, for it to calculate that. And yes, it's normal. Oh, but that's beautiful. Yes. So you see how, nice pajamas. Well, the hand is a bit. That's Flux, hands. You see? Not bad, huh? Yes. And you just have to make a mask and import an image. And there you go. And then she finds herself at the HBO ceremony, in pajama style. So here on the other hand we're tackling something heavier, I think. But we can still try it. Well, the image isn't great. The resolution isn't terrible. But anyway, we're going to do something with it. Yes. Of course, it can't keep the white. Well, we're going to leave the bag. She deserves her bag. We're going to do a rough outline. We're going to remove the turtleneck. Okay. I don't guarantee this because it's something a bit more complex. The character is much larger. We have to include the coat. We're going to leave her shoes. We said we'd leave the bag. So we're leaving the bag. Here, basically we're doing the whole inside. Don't yell at me in the comments if it comes up with something completely absurd because here I admit I'm doing a bit of weird experiments. We're still going to try to recover things correctly anyway. We're not supposed to have jeans there, right? Okay, for the inside of the bag, what am I doing? I'm trying to paint a little bit here to see. I'm leaving the yes, I'm going. Let's leave it like that. It's okay. The main thing is to test. We'll try it. So it made the mask. I think we're going to laugh. I don't know how it's going to manage with this. Is it going to put pajamas in the street with sneakers? That is the question. I dread the worst. After that, I have other workflows for changing clothes and accessories, but much more complex. I presented Dreamo not long ago, which also did it, but it was less precise in terms of image quality. We're going to see the surprise. The surprise of the chef. I'm scared of the result. It's not bad. Well, here it's long pants instead, but frankly, it's pretty good. Let's test a seated person. We're going to tackle something a little more complicated like this so we see the results. We're not going to put underwear. We're going to stay clean. What am I going to be able to test? Let's go crazy. So the young lady, what are we going to keep? Her teacup or chocolate? Yes, I'm putting white. Beautiful shoes, beautiful sandals. I don't know if I'll keep them for testing. I saw there were others on the image. We're going to put up to there because, anyway, we're going to leave the hair. It's black, so it won't bother us up there. We're going to leave that, her hot chocolate or whatever. Yes, we're going to do that roughly here. Yes, we're going to do it well there. Do it well here. Rather go beyond than be too short. We can try like that. What am I doing? I'm trying the shoes to see. Okay, I'm trying them. Well, after all, I know that feet with flux always scare me, but we can still try it. We can't say it's always something phenomenal between the hands and the feet with flux. Okay, we're going to try that. So now we save and I start from this. Here we are. What is this? Did I forget something? We'll see. The image is already much smaller. We should gain speed. After that, these are photos I took randomly. The resolution isn't very good. You see, here we're going to have problems here. I didn't do that properly. We'll see how it handles that. We'll see how it will process that. For the same, we're talking about clothes on top of each other. That's what I thought. So what do we have? As usual with flux, the shoes are a mess. The bag, however, is more than correct. So, the black top, the belt behind which is there. The earrings, it put them where it wanted. We're going to try something else. When there are accessories, it's always a little more problematic. So it's string. So normally, I just need to put a comma, it seems to me. But just in case, we're going to do a second render afterwards. It did its own little thing by itself. Well, everyone who uses ComfyUI Flux knows that even before with SDXL, hands and feet are often problematic. But what's nice is how it's extrapolated here. I haven't gone all the way, but it's still completely filled in correctly. It's still great. It even did the whole interior. Yes, even where I left a piece, I missed the jeans. Well, it didn't miss at all. So what did it do well? It almost did everything. Well, here it's good. She's holding the bag in her hand, a few inconsistencies still, but not a big deal. And still this shoe problem. Anyway, you just had to not delete them in the shoes section, and it would have been perfect. On the other hand, it's true that seeing how she's sitting, her knees look a bit weird. These are somewhat more complex experiments, seated characters and so on. It's perhaps a little more complicated, but we still have clothing processing that is really clean. So if I put simpler clothes on it, maybe if I just put this, yes, if I put this. Okay, so I'll put dresses, but what I'm going to do, I'm waiting for it to finish rendering this. I'm going to leave the original shoes though, because she suffered a bit, the poor thing. Yes. As for the shoes, it didn't take the base shoes at all, but it put shoes on. Ah, well, here the bag is already perfect. Well, it did its own thing. It put the earrings in there. The outfit is great. We can still do correct things even with a seated character. Here, what I'm going to do precisely. So, here you don't like the mask? Well, we erase it, we redo it. So, here she has a dress. She has a dress with a little bit of sleeves. So we do exactly the same as before. We don't bother. I'm not changing. I'm just going to do it, maybe here. I'm leaving her glass here. It's better, as I told you, to be whiter here. We're going to do that. But I'm going to leave her shoes. She still has shoes and feet that are a little better done than what Flux can render. The poor thing, she has suffered enough experiences. Yes. So we're going to increase. You see better in white. It's much cleaner and clearer. Yes. Here it is. Very simple. It's not perfect. We save and we try this. That's why everything is resynchronized. Everything is put here at the correct scale so that everything is coherent. Normally, we should get a correct dress here. It's perfect. So the hand you have to see, maybe a close-up. After that, you have to see the original hand she had too. Yeah. Yes, the hand was a bit extrapolated. In fact, something like that. You still saw that it's great for changing. Well, actually, I think you just need to not bother and cut off her hand. Yes. And if I don't want her to have a glass, for example, I'll just leave the elbow. We'll see how it calculates all that for us. You know that to change clothes, really, once you've understood the principle, make a correct mask, that you've imported the other image. So you see, you don't need to have a character with a face, a whole character. We're going to put that, the shoes, yes. Still the same. Yes. There are risks of getting that a bit anywhere. Well, I didn't remove heels here. However, for that we're going to put clothes back. I don't know. At least it's general. So where is it now that I've cut off the hand? Yes. Well, so it created a hand as best it could. After that you have to see, yes, the image is bad. The image quality is very bad initially. So in the end it recreates with the same pixelation actually as the rest of the image. If it had made much clearer hands, it would have really looked suspicious. And here it's perfect. It's really perfect. Yes. Here we have pixels, it pixelated everything the same way. Let's do one last test with this. I think we'll have covered everything. We didn't do the accessories. We didn't test the hat. I don't have a hat there. A cap, maybe. Can I find caps here? What is that? Cap baseball. I don't remember how that will be. Can I find one? The problem is that it's finding me 50 different caps. Isn't there a place where there's only one cap? Yes. Well, instead of the skirt it made pants. Well, actually, I masked up to the bottom. It's maybe the only limit we can have. It eventually considers that she has pants, but still, you know. We start from a base image with clothes, without a character. I would have liked to test with the same image anyway. Well, I'll accelerate if I can't retrieve details. So I changed. I put back prompt gen 2. So it was faster than expected. Do we gain detail by changing the Florence model? Ah, no. The Florence model didn't like it at all. It changed everything. Why? Why did I choose the wrong model? That's weird. Yes. Well, actually, but on the other hand, it did put the shoes on. I don't understand why it changed the face. Yeah, I'm discovering things at the same time as you. I don't understand. I don't know what it did. I don't even understand where it's getting this face from. It did its own thing there. Ah, yeah, but okay. But there's already a bug there. The model didn't take the clothes into account. It took the whole character as if I had marked character. So in fact, it didn't make a mask. It masked the whole character. That's why we have a different character. So that's good to know too. It also allows me to see things at the same time. I think what we can also do precisely is at that moment, we should also see about inserting a new character into a background. That could be nice too. So I should consider testing that in a new tutorial maybe. I'm trying at the same time as you and yes, I think that's the nicest way. Doing tests like that. Trying. Seeing what works and what doesn't. I'm also learning from my mistakes. So I just saw that actually you just need to understand how it interprets the character here in the mask. Okay, I'll see about that for a next tutorial. Yes. There we agree that this time it did make the mask correctly. Yeah, so actually I don't know why. I don't understand. But I had tested it, it worked. Okay, we'll stick with this one. Don't break your head. And then I'll do one last test and then I'll free you. And I'll free myself too, you know. I'm going to try the cap. I'm scared that the cap will be a disaster. But why not try it? Normally the mask, I say layer, because I'm also used to Photoshop. Sometimes I mix things up. It's still clean. It still made the hands messy. Well, we know that. So the young lady is very nice, but we're going to dress her again as she was. Yes. So here we erase, we come back here, and we're going to try putting a cap on her. I say, try. A cap. I think that's it. Is there a cap? It's here. So, here we're going to laugh or not? What is that? It considers the bag to be a cap too? That comes from that gentleman who makes his own interpretations. Well, maybe we'll get a cap instead of the bag here. In addition to a cap on her head. We'll see. I'll test that. And then everyone can leave. And thank you for having had the patience to follow this video. I hope you liked it. Yes. So I'm trying to do things slowly and doing tests at the same time. If you have questions, don't hesitate to ask me all your questions in the comment. I try to answer everyone. At the same time, I have a small account, so I have time to answer everyone. Please like, and if you like this kind of video, please subscribe. Thank you in advance. Of course, I'll share the workflow as before for my old videos. The verdict. Watch out. If we manage to put a cap on that, then honestly we have a good start. So here I don't understand why it put a cap instead of the bag. That's one of Florence's quirks. So the cap, it's not bad actually, it's even pretty nice. But it's clear that it's not on her head. It's maybe a bit big. A question of mask, simply. Let's do one last render. I don't like to leave things like that. It tried to make a cap for her anyway. It adapted to her head. We'll see if it's better. Maybe it will be a little too small. But I don't want a cap here. It needs to stop doing its thing. It mustn't take the bag. Ah, that might be good. So hold on, I haven't tested this. That might be good now when there's an object like that. That allows me to see it at the same time as you. That's what's interesting. How are we doing? I'm accelerating. I'll really need to accelerate the renderings. But normally the cap shouldn't go up there. The problem there is that it has its eyes a little open, but it's still a matter of testing. On the other hand, it removed her coffee cup. After all, the base is rather meant for changing clothes. But actually, we see that we can still change accessories too, which can be quite good. So that's for the first one. The second one, what did I do, big? But I didn't change first. We'll see. And yes, I don't understand its detection mode. If I put clothes, what will it detect? I won't do the rendering so as not to waste time. I'll just see the mask. I'll get there. If I do this, it might find nothing. I'm launching this, but I'm just checking to have the mask. Well, you understood. When I say layer, it means mask. It's not a big deal. We're starting to understand each other. Some masks. I'm talking about the mask. So maybe I should also try changing things a little bit here. Does that change anything? It put a phone there. Ah, well, indeed. Well, put all by index back. It put a phone. It put the cap back a little high. So here I'm doing by index. So here by putting close, well, it does. Well, it actually takes all the clothes it finds. Which is strange, moreover, that here I admit I don't quite understand its delusion. I don't know what it wanted to do. Yeah, I told you I stopped earlier, and yet I'm still here with you. But anyway, I'll do all the rendering. It would be accelerated as much as possible. You know that the result displayed for a video that will last a good hour for me, I think. Since I started, we're going to try to shorten all that so as not to exceed, let's say, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes if I really try my best to make it as clear as possible. Above all. But I should have anticipated for the renderings. I should have. That's something I should have done beforehand, upstream. I should have reduced the size of the base images here but I thought about the link already, which I hadn't done before. And I'm just starting out, so I'm making mistakes. I'm trying to do the best, but with time. Ah, well, there you go, we discover something else. That is, here by putting close it did put the cap on, but then it did its own thing with the color of the cap, which could be something else, like, which I'm discovering at the same time as you. It made an ensemble. It's pretty good. By index. One last time, one last one. So we saw that if we put close and we just put a cap, even if I just mask here, it will already replace what is obvious. It will replace where there is a mask, of course. But on its own, it retrieves the whole person, all the person's clothes. If I had put clothes, maybe it would have selected all this anyway. What fascinates me is that it still keeps the blur, the base blur of the photo, which is very bad, and that it manages to do something that still seems really real. No. Yes, she opened her eyes a little. But I think that's certainly due to the mask's expansion, which must be a little bit eroded. So I think it must be biting a little bit. Yes, the last one. After that, I promise it's the last one. I won't touch anything anymore. I just put by index. But apparently that doesn't change anything. I'll put it back as it was by default. Yes, I'll put it back. So there we clearly saw that if we put big to small. No. What was it at the beginning? At the beginning, no, I think it worked. It's just that it had selected the. After that, these are options. You have to, it's a bit of trial and error. You have to do trial and error. By default, you leave it like that. Yes. You can even leave it by default on base. Oh, well, there you go. Well, there it put a cap on her knees. Why not? Yes. But anyway, like everything in ComfyUI, like all image generation, you have to do several renders to get results and do tests. Today, while making the video, I discovered at the same time that you could change the whole character. I discovered that you can potentially change clothes without even selecting them by just putting clothes. By taking the image of the mask here, the cap with that color. It managed to do it earlier. Earlier, it was by doing. I think it was that. And it was that. Well, yes, that will do for today. I think there's already plenty to do. Thank you for following me once again. Feel free to like the video and subscribe. Thank you, and see you next time.